How y'all doing? Welcome you guys to Revolutionary Ministry, and as always, we are a movement of God, birthed out of the necessity of His Father. We want that experience and that encounter outside of traditions, outside of religion, outside of your denominational views, outside of your emotions, outside of theology, outside of exegesis, outside of church politics, outside of all of that church stuff that they created to blind you and to keep you under their doctrine. To awaken God in you. So God bless you all. As you guys are coming in, don't forget to tag, share, and bring somebody in on this journey. Because no matter what, at the end of this journey, or rather at the end of this cycle, whatever you believe this to be, or whatever you think or know this to be, this is a journey. This is a journey. This is a journey. And you cannot continue to allow your thinking, you can't continue to allow the slave owners to dictate or determine how you're going to operate, how you're going to function. We can't continue allowing them to create stories, to create ideals, to create identities. We have allowed our slave master to create whole identities for us. I want you to think about this. We have allowed the slave masters, you guys, to create whole identities for us. And we go to their schools, we go to their colleges, we go to their universities, just so that we can adopt their identities that they created for us. I want you to think about that for a minute. I'm talking about like in real life, not because you've been heavily indoctrinated, or heavily educated, or heavily informed. You guys, we have allowed these people to not only to create identities for us, right? But we have allowed them to cause us to adopt these identities. And not only adopt these identities, but to pay them for these identities. It's crazy. Y'all, we are paying these people for these identities. They sell it to us. They call it rappers, they call it lawyers, they call it doctors, they call it technicians, electricians, and sell these identities to us. Pay some of them hundreds of thousands of dollars, for their positions, so that everybody else can look at these identities and look at these positions and say, hey, that's what I want to be. That's what I want to become. Not based on any gift, not based on any vision, not based on any purpose. But we choose these identities based on money. Blessings to your family. We choose these identities based on money. Even when you choose a husband, you choose that identity based on money. Most of us do, whether we realize it or not, whether we want to admit it or not, whether we care to say it. We choose these identities based on money. Money, 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 money. You know, and it's wrong and it's right. Because we've created a society, a societal structure where money is the foundation of it. For the love of money, people are doing all kinds of bad things. People are doing all kinds of horrible things. People are selling themselves to these companies, and these companies don't care because they want to tap into your soul. They want to tap into your feelings. They want to tap into your emotions. I know every time you come on one of these lives, one of our lives, you be like, man, not this again. When is he going to talk about God blessing me? When is he going to talk about God giving me something? When? Well, unfortunately, all I can do is say and give you is what the Father gave me. I can't sell my birthright because a group of people have been brainwashed into believing that leaders' job is to pray for you so that you can get the house. Is to pray for you so that you can get the car. Is to pray for you so that you can get the job. Is to pray for you so you can get a lot of money. That ain't right, God. That's not right at all. You know, God is calling for real salvation in this time. I'm talking about like real salvation. I'm talking about like real connection to our identity. God is calling for his sons to come out of the darkness into this marvelous light. And he's not calling you in a sense that, oh, I'm calling you in this light so I can give you money. Oh, so I can give you. Now I'm calling you out of the darkness into the light, so that you can recognize that you are the light. So you can recognize it's so dark out there because you haven't came out of the darkness to realize that you are the light. There's not light going on, blessings to your family. There's not enough light in this world. It's because we as believers who were called to be light bringers, who were called to be light givers. You can be mad at how I'm saying that all you want to. But the reality of it is that God said you are the light of this world. You are the light of this world. We are the light of this world. And if we are the light of this world, then what are we doing? How as we, as light bringers and light givers, not affecting this world? Blessings to you, family. If we are the light bringers, if we are the light givers, then how come it's still dark in our nation? How come it's still dark in our country? How come it's still dark in our city? How come it's still dark in our neighborhoods? And even on the deeper level, how come it's still dark in our churches? But yet a lot of people are claiming to be Christians. But yet a lot of people are claiming to know God. It's starting to get very, very confusing. I'm so serious. It's starting to get very, very confusing in this hour. Very confusing. Because the reality of why it's getting so confusing in this hour is because what we see as Christian is based on whether or not if somebody's reading the Bible. What we see as Christian or spiritual headship is based on whether or not if somebody reads the Bible, whether or not they pray, whether or not under the strongest delusion that this nation could ever see, could ever hear. Because, blessings to your family, because people think or have been taught to believe that they are born again because they read the Bible. They've been taught to believe that they are born again because they go to church. They are taught to believe that they are born again because they put money in the cup every time it comes around. We've been taught that. But yet, when we go home to our personal lives don't reflect our born again status. Because we're still living the same. And I know when you come on my lives, you're like, man, this guy's always talking like this. And I wish he would talk in a different way or in a different manner. But for real, I can't. You know, when it's in your DNA and you have a certain accent and you have a certain structure, then how can you talk in any other way when that's the way that God has made you to talk? God has designed you to talk. You can't close your mouth and you can't shut up when you are the voice of God. You can't. You can't shut your mouth when you are the voice of God. And God's calling for his people to wake up. He's calling, I'm talking about like really calling for his people to wake up in this atmosphere. He really is. And he's going to continue to call. He's going to continue to call. He's going to continue to awaken you. And you think that the things that you're going through or growing through or things that are happening around you are the byproduct of the devil. And it's not the byproduct of the devil. Now, even though God may use Lucifer or Hasatan in this hour to ideally be used to wake you up, but the reality of it is that this is all God. Everything is all God. It's all God. And I know you may recall in your mind or in your head that he came to steal, kill, and destroy. Yes, he came to kill, steal, and destroy. But the reality of it is that's I'm just telling you in the book who he is. That's his job. Whether you realize it or not, that is his job. That's his job. His job is to steal, kill, and destroy. That is what God allowed him to be able to do in the lives of those who will not make the commitment, who will not make the change. Let me tell you something. Can we be, I'm going to be bluntly honest right now. Anything that happens to a born-again believer from above, it is not the byproduct of Satan. It's not the byproduct of a Jezebel spirit. It's not the byproduct of a Python spirit. When you are in alignment with what God is saying and what God specifically designed for you to do, anything that's a byproduct of that, it's not that the devil has some kind of power and authority, because he is the God of this age. He is the God of this age. And we have to know these things as a foundation. That's why you see millions and practically billions of people who go into a church building. And you also see these same people going to law. You also see these same people going to football games. You also see them going to pagan temples, demonic temples. Even though that mall does not say pagan temple or demonic temple or idol worship, but that's the reality of what it is. When you walk through there, just like Paul in the book of Acts, when he walked through the temple, he saw all kind of articles and items of worship. When you walk through a mall, you see Nike, you see Jordan, you see Reebok, you see Gucci, you see Fendi, you see all of these articles and items of worship. These are the traditional temples. These are the traditional temples, the traditional pagan temples. And we don't know it. We don't realize it. We don't realize that every time you walk through that mall and you see all these stores, especially the ones selling $3,500 bags, $200 shoes, jewelry, all kind of different name brand clothes, but they're all the same material, all the same stuff. Now, I can understand that you're paying a little more for a different type of material. But the reality of it is that when we go to work those 60, 70, 80 hours in a week, or however many hours it is that you go, you make those 6, 7 figures, you doing that so that you can worship something name-worthy. You doing that so that people, either you can worship somebody or somebody can worship you. And we don't get that. We don't understand that. Why? Because we're still in darkness. We're still blind. We're still dark. Still in blindness. We still have yet to come to the place of awakening where we as believers say, you know what? Enough is enough. It's really time to build kingdom. Not a church building, but kingdom. Building our own neighborhoods, building our own economies, having our own support systems, our own structures, having our own water supplies, our own electricity, our own food, having our own. But yet, we claim to be born again, but none of us are moving in this direction. None of us are moving toward this direction. Because we're still held captive. We're still in bondage by the slave masters that are in control over these many different systems and structures. And I'm going to keep shouting it. I'm going to keep yelling it until God calls me home. Because there's no way you can say that I'm a born-again believer and I'm not trying to build a system to free the people economically. Economically. We cannot say that we are apostles and prophets of this day, but yet we are not even trying to build nothing to sustain the people that are under our leadership. Nothing. We look at apostles and prophets from a horrible viewpoint. Oh, they got a big building. Oh, they got lots of people following them. Oh, their church is a half a mile long. Their church is a half a mile long in a poverty-stricken neighborhood. Their church is a half mile long in a poverty-stricken neighborhood, in a messed up, broke down, tore up neighborhood. But yet we call ourselves apostles and prophets because we can get on the live and summon angels and summon demons and fake heal people and talk about things that we ourselves are not doing at all. At all. Christianity now has become so corrupted, so messed up, so corrupted, so messed up, so thrown off. It really is. It is almost even now, a shame to be called Christian now, because it don't represent foundations, the core foundations. It don't represent Christ anymore. We that word, that term, that concept, that's all it is now. It's hey, are you reading your Bible? Oh yeah, I'm Christian. Hey, are you going to church? Oh yeah, I'm Christian. Oh, I go to T.D. Snake's ministry. Oh yeah, you Christian. Oh, I go to Benny Hinn's ministry. Oh yeah, you're a Christian. Oh, I go to Joel Osteen's ministry. Oh yeah, you Christian. Oh yeah, I go and I tithe $1,000 a week. Oh yeah, you're the most faithful Christian I know. You know. It's no longer about freeing people. It's no longer about freeing. And a whole bunch of things to follow. It's not about freeing you to serve God. And freeing you to serve God is freeing you to serve His people. Serving God is serving His people. Fellowshipping with God is fellowshipping with His people. When you read the book of 1 John, it teaches us, to tell us, how can you say you love God whom you've never ever seen a day in your life? Whom you've never ever seen a day in your life. And you can't love your brother and your sister. You see, you don't really get what he's saying. Not in real life. You have a visual representation of God standing right before you, but yet you pass Him up on a day-to-day basis so that you can go fake worship, so that you can do all the fake things that mislead people. And it's wrong. It's not right. It's wrong. It's not right. And God is calling for His sons. God is calling for His sons to come out of their darkness. God is calling for His sons to come out of the darkness. To come out of the darkness. I know it's terrible because you feel like if you come out of the darkness, no one's going to support you. No one's going to care about you. Because eventually, as long as you continue to flow by the power of God and you continue to move by the authority of God, people who aren't born again, they are supposed to hate you. They are supposed to dislike you. They are really supposed to try to figure out how to stop you from being spiritual. It is because your spirituality undermines their Christianity. Your spirituality undermines their Christianity. And what they're saying is that, I read my Bible, I pray, I go to church, I tithe, I offer every week, I do this, I do that, but yet they still have no peace. They still have no love. And they're trying to figure out, how do you have peace? And you don't even read the Bible. How you got love for people? And I'll never see you pray. They're still, your spirituality. I'm telling you, they are upset at your spirituality. They are mad at your spirituality. Because you don't do none of the Christian stuff. And they're trying to figure out, how do you have so much peace? How, when this guy or when this girl comes in my circle, I can sense the peace. I can sense the no worries. I can sense the no care. I can sense that they genuinely love people. I can sense that they genuinely want me free. But yet, here I am. I'm reading the Bible. I'm praying. I'm worshiping. I'm giving. I'm tithing. I'm offering. I'm losing my mind. But yet, none of it's working for me. I went to this church. I went to that church. I sat under here. I sat under there. I paid thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars, even millions, to go to this conference, to go to that conference, to only show up and to pass out and to throw up and to fall out. But yet I'm still the same and nothing's changing. That's why your spirituality is dangerous to their Christianity. Because they changed everything about themselves, and God has yet to show up in their lives. Shit. I'm talking about they even went and got their tattoos, laser surgery off of their body. I'm talking about they changed everything about themselves, but yet God still doesn't show up. And that's why your spirituality is dangerous to their Christianity. They don't like it. They don't like your spirituality. It's because they are living in blindness. They are living in secret sins. They're living a whole secret life in their mind. And you don't realize it. And you don't know it. They're living a whole secret life in their mind. Because once again, what's real in the mind does not have to be real in the world. I've seen people get trapped in the illusion that is contained within their mind, and it is never ever a reality, and it makes it more real than the world, y'all. That's because your spirituality is dangerous. Your spirituality is so dangerous that all you do is show up. And demons have to manifest themselves. Demons have to flee. And when I say demons, these are people with Bibles. Woo. These are people quoting scriptures. These are people that go in their war rooms and act like they fighting devils and act like they fighting this and that. Your spirituality is dangerous to their Christianity. And that's why they dislike you. That's why they talk about you. Because you're going to end up exposing them and their fake and their phony false worship. And they don't want to be exposed. And they know soon. They know soon your spirituality is going to expose them. And they don't want to be exposed. No devil, no demon, no spirit wants to be exposed. Anybody who's doing anything don't want to be exposed. It's just like me. If I was secretly whoring around, sleeping with this woman, that woman, this woman, my biggest thing is that, damn, I hope when I get up here and minister, I don't expose myself, or they don't expose me. And so you don't get up there and minister right. You can't minister right. You can't minister right when you are not actually really doing those things that you are talking about, that you are ministering about. You know what I'm saying? You can't minister right. That's why most of these ministries are accepting everything. That's why most of these leaders are accepting everything. Why? Because their Christianity is fake. And I'm not saying all people who call themselves Christ-like, because Christianity used to mean Christ-like, like Christ. It used to mean like Christ. Christianity meant like Christ. It literally means nobody goes hungry. It literally means nobody should be homeless. It literally means you should be able to turn your garage into a food bank. Forget about the church bank, food bank. Your garage, your yard should be a food bank. But we living in lies. Most of us are living in lies. A bum should be able to know that that's a believer's house. That guy right there, he's spiritual. That girl right there, that house, they spiritual. I can go to their porch and get some food off their porch. I'd never go home. Or they'll have clean socks on their porch. They'll have clean underwear on their porch. They'll have clean stuff for me. But yet we just, I don't know what we've done. We've sat under the lies, we've sat under we've turned against each other. All we care now, all the church system care about now is fighting fake devils. If a real devil were to show up in your room, a real demon were to show up in your church, I promise you wouldn't be on that stage talking about blah 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 blah. You wouldn't. It's just not real. All of this crap that you hear and you see, it's just the byproduct of entertainment. It is. And you got to be real. That's why they teach you how to cast out devils. Wait a minute. Christ never taught his disciples how to cast out devils. Because you can't teach how to cast out a devil. That makes no sense. We just amen anything. We just amen anything. You join a class that's going to teach you how to cast out a devil. They're not teaching you how to cast out a devil. They're teaching you how to deny God. They teaching you how to deny God. They teaching you how to cast people's spirituality out of them. Because God is spirit. Now, when I say spirituality, what I'm saying is God is spirit. I'm not talking about all this crazy stuff that you see here today. When I say spirituality, I mean God is spirit. God is spirit. You are spirit. They trying to cast out the Spirit of God out of you because you making them look bad. You making them sound bad. They've been in the same place for 30 years. People think it's a good thing to tell people, oh, I've been in ministry 30 years. And you don't, and you still the same. I've been in ministry 40 years. That used to sound good to me. And I used to be like, man, yeah, that's it. That's the life. But then when you look at their life, their lifestyle, it don't reflect the 30 and the 40 years of ministry. It don't reflect it at all. Now you got to lock your church door. You know, we brought somebody to the land. You know what I'm saying? You know, a month ago. And within a month's time, we raised up enough money to get them an apartment and gave them work. You know, and one of them was on drugs. But my whole point is that I never locked the doors. I never tied anything down. Because I trust God. Because I believe in God. Even though they took stuff. You know what I'm saying? And I can clearly see that they're going to take stuff. Well, what is it? When we have a circle of believers, we are the believers. We are supposed to be provided. If your brother's running around here hungry, thirsty, ain't got no clothes, I don't care if they talk about you until you blue in the face, until they're blue in the face. It is your job. It's not the government's job. I know TD Jakes taught y'all that. TD Snakes taught y'all that. It's not the government's job to help these people. It's our job as believers, as light bringers, as light givers, as workers of light. Whatever word, whatever term you want to use, that's on you. But I know my Bible teaches me that Christ was trying to push on the people You are the light of this world. You are Christ. That was his whole message. Because he know he finna go. He know they finna kill him. Take him out. He knows that. Because why? Because he was bringing something fresh, something new, something different. When he said, when they brought to him his mama and his brothers, sisters, and all them, and he said, "Who is my mama? Who is my brother?" Oh, they knew they had to kill him. They knew they had to take him out. They knew when his mama couldn't influence him, when his brother couldn't influence him, meaning blood couldn't influence him. Christ knew the whole agenda of them bringing his mama and his brother out there. They knew the agenda. Christ knew that he was trying to get them to mislead him. Christ knew that already. That's why he said, "Who's my mother? Who's my brother?" Those who hear the word of God and do it. He knew it. You can't tell me. And I know it's wrong. I know it's wrong. I know it's wrong. And no disrespect to anybody who love their mama, who love their brothers, cousins, sisters, nieces, nephews. This is not a message of disrespect or dishonor. This is a message of awakening. This is a message of awareness. This is a message of spirituality. We gotta get it.
Good morning.
Hey, buenos días, señor.
¿Cómo está usted?
Bien, ¿y tú?
Bien, bien.
Bien, sí.
Trabajando tan temprano.
Okay, give me one minute.
Claro.
We got our brothers and sisters out there, and they don't even know who they are. They don't know who they can trust. They don't know who they can trust.
You want me to help you when you change?
You got it?
Yeah.
Oh yeah? They don't know who they can trust. They don't even know who they can come to. Hell, you don't even know who can trust me. I'm not asking you to trust me in yourself. I'm not asking you to come to me in yourself. I'm asking you to come to purpose. So grateful for life. So grateful. I'm asking you to trust God. Just as my big brother said, when he told our little brother Peter, he said, "Look, I know you want to worship me. I know you want me to become king and create an army and do all that kind of stuff. I know you want me to do that. But I want you to know you have the same ability to not only do what I'm doing, but do it in a greater capacity. This is not about me. This is about us. And one of us is not as strong as all of us. It is impossible. We must really win. We must really awaken in real life. Not practice the dark arts. Because, once again, our ancestors had abilities and had power. And people get those powers. got you afraid. They got all of us afraid to be who God called us to be. We got real gifts and real talents out here. Real. But yet we are afraid to use them. We're afraid. But we got to build this community. We have to. We have to build this community, you guys. Pepinos and cebollas and qué? Onions?
Chile verde.
Okay. Mayonesa con salsa.
Yeah. Ready.
Es ready. Muchas gracias, señor. Mira. ¿Es ready?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay.
¿Sí? ¿Todo bien?
Great. Yeah. Beautiful. Oh, it's There's no places like this in Mexico.
No. No?
No.
Oh. Only by the border.
Yeah, by the border, yeah.
Yeah, by the border.
Thank you.
Uh-huh. Yeah, do y'all hear? Or y'all waking up? Did the church still recognize your credentials?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You need one?
No. All right, thank you.
All right.
Hey, Mira. Listen, you guys, listen. I know I'll be saying some hard things, and I know some of the things that people that but if you continue to believe these ideas and continue to walk in the structures, this world is designed in such a way that it keeps us all sick, keeps us all fighting. Keeps us all fighting and struggling and putting us all in classes. And those classes are based on money. Those classes are based on money. We got to get to a place to where we say, you know what? Our spirituality is way more important. And when we talk about spirituality, I'm not talking about you going into some closet and you yelling and pointing at some invisible demon that you think is killing your kids and, and taking your stuff. No, we're not talking about that, y'all. We're not talking about that. When we talk about spirituality has everything to do with, first and foremost, what you are intaking into the ear gate. What you're intaking into the eye gate, what you're taking into the mouth gate, what you're taking into the nose gate. Because you don't realize that you live in a system. You live in a system. And your system is called planet Alexis. Even though we may be on planet Earth or whatever you call it, but you live in planet Alexis. You live in planet Andre. You live in planet Nancy. You live in planet Josie. You live in planet South Street, planet Desmond, you know, planet Carlos, planet Denise. You live in that planet. And your planet is under a dome. Your planet, your solar system exists under a dome. And you are allowing many things access into your solar system that should not have access to your solar system. It shouldn't. So when we talk about spirituality, we're not talking about reading a book. Can I say this again? So when we talk about spirituality, we're not talking about reading a book. We're not talking about going to the mountains and screaming and yelling some mantra to some foreign being or some foreign deity. When we talk about spirituality, we're talking about governing the body, the system that we are in such a way to where that spirituality is resident. Christ used to come into a city, he used to come into a town. Demons knew it. When the Christ frequency or the Christ body or the God body used to come to regions, demons knew it. They knew it. And they were trying, and they were wondering why he was there. You know, we have a great example where the demon or demons, devils, spirits, you know, we're not going to get caught up in language. We're going to get caught up in the context and the spirituality of it, the revelation of it. They were like, wait a minute, it's too early for you to come in and torment us. It's not the time. It's not our time to be tormented. So what are you doing? And because of that, those demons, those devils are like, you know what? Regardless of what it is that you are here to do, can you please, listen, they said, can you please allow us go do our things somewhere else? Can you please allow us to go do our things somewhere else? These frequencies, whatever you want to call them, you know, with the God frequency, the God consciousness, God awareness, man of God, woman of God, whatever language you want to use, it does not matter. When that language, when that person shows up, even the disciples, remember the disciples, they were so amazed because they had never saw it before. They were so amazed. They said even demons, they were like, even demons are subject to us in your name. You know, in your name. And when he talks about name, he was talking about something a little bit deeper than Isaac. He was talking about purpose. When they recognize your purpose here, when they recognize your existence here, when they truly recognize it, they were surrendering to that purpose. They were surrendering to that structure. They were surrendering to it because they knew what the purpose was. Many of us don't even know our purpose. How can someone surrender, you know, or how can, let alone a demon surrender, and we don't know our purpose? That's why when people try to cast out devils, you know what I'm saying, and demons, and they don't know their purpose, they don't know their name. When you say, I don't know my name, what you're saying, I don't know my purpose, my being, my reason for existence. They said even demons are subject to us in that name. That's a powerful name. That's what they meant, and that's what they said. They meant that. And they said that. They were like, man, this is crazy deep, man. We ain't never, ever. Never, ever. We've never ever experienced this level. We've never experienced it. That's why it's so very, very important for us to really get to the places, you know, where we are allowing God to awaken us. Where we are allowing God to free us. Where we are allowing God to elevate us. Where we are allowing God to be God. And that's not, and it ain't got nothing to do with money. This system of control that was left behind to weed out the wheat and the tares. You don't even realize money is here to weed out. God made it perfectly plain, perfectly clear. Perfectly plain, perfectly clear. That's why he told the disciples, no, don't worry about who's real, who's fake. I got that. I got a system here already that you're going to automatically know off the top who's real and who's fake. You're going to automatically know. You're going to automatically know. The system is going to tell on them every time. The system is designed to give them up. I got a system here, and that system is going to give them up every time. That system is going to give them up every time. Every time. We got to break free of this religious, Christian, indoctrinated, heavily indoctrinated system, because it ain't doing nothing. It's not doing nothing but preparing the way. That system, whether you realize it or not, y'all, that Christian system, it is preparing the way and promoting the Antichrist. That's all it's doing. And mostly every leader is a part of it. Every leader is a part. Mostly every leader. Every heavily influential leader is a part of that system. I don't care what nobody say. I don't care how they feel. I don't care how many people they saw, get healed and delivered through their ministry. I don't care, because when you actually read the book tells us that the false prophet, right, the Antichrist, right, and the beast will be able to do miracles. They'll be able to perform miracles. They will be able to perform miracles. And any church that's telling you or teaching you that, hey, if they're not performing miracles, then they are not of God. They are preparing you to receive the Antichrist. You don't get it, though. They're really preparing you to receive the Antichrist. And you don't get it. See, Christ is about a wholesome lifestyle. It's about a wholesome lifestyle. It's about a godly lifestyle. It's about a lifestyle that we live that says, hey, I'm born again. I'm born again. All this what we're doing, performing in these buildings, we're doing nothing more than preparing the way for the Antichrist. We're doing nothing more than preparing the way for the unholy Trinity. I mean, why do you think that they are able to pass certain laws? Why do you think they're passing certain laws? I'm telling you, it's going to get weirder and weirder. The things, the laws that they're going to try to pass to see whether or not if they desensitize the population enough so that they can pass these laws. You got to get to the place where you say, you know what? You know, my spirit agrees with that. My flesh disagrees with it, but my spirit agrees with it. You got to get to that place. Because by 2024, 2026, 2027, man, it's going to look weird. It's going to look very, very, very weird. It's going to look very weird. Church is going to look very weird. It's going to sound very weird. And we as believers need to allow God to prepare us, to get us ready, so that if anything happens, we'll be able to break free. Because we have allowed God to prepare us. You don't realize that God is doing that work. God is doing the exposing. God is making sure you know who's for him. God is making sure that you know who's for him and who's against him. These people and what they're doing, God is making sure you know. God is making sure that you know that these people say Christian got churches, and it don't even matter if they got churches and people following them. God is making sure you know that they don't belong to him. God is making sure that you know. He's making it clear. He's making it evident. That's why they got the cut off lights. That's why they got the paint their walls. That's why they got to have smoke machines. Why? Because the church is no longer a church, a synagogue of God. It's now a stage. They don't realize right now, you go into these churches right now, it's a stage. It's a stage. It no longer represents God. It no longer sustains God. It no longer houses God. It's a whole temple of Babel. We bought into its ideas long enough. All right, let's go do some work. Listen, God is calling you out. Allow him to call you out. Remember, Jesus loves you, men and women of God. So do I.